Thank you. Radido, I am still the same one who went to the office. I am that guilty. And I went through his books. Actually, we had quite some time in your office. I went through the books, checked through. It's a legal side of me. I'm an advocate by profession. So I think that's a lawyer side, right? So all protocols observed. Thank you everyone for making time. I first want to thank God that this has come to be. I think it's been a journey, prayers into it, and I know the ladies can attest to that. We were talking with the ladies and they said, wow, this is it. It has come to be, you know. I want to thank, there's a lady in Zion Publishers called Esther. Esther was such a strong pillar in this whole process. And I think she kept, I can see all the authors nodding. She kept calling us and I would tell her, Esther, I think this thing is not working. I'm too busy. And she says, no, don't give up. Maybe just record yourself. We'll do what we can do. So I tried. I recorded myself, sent to them. Something in me said, no, this is not what I want. I don't want someone else to write my story. I want to do it myself. And Trini, wherever she is, may God bless her. For me, my family and my spouse who didn't make it today, my husband happens to be my coach. So you can imagine how tough it is to have your spouse as a coach. Sometimes he says tough things and I take them personal. Then I remember, oh, that was the office side. Now let me come back to this side. But he says it as it should be. And he says, I'm your coach and you will not post this on, I'm very loud on LinkedIn. And he says, no, this one, no. Then I'm thinking, it's my page. He says, no, it's our brand. So I want to thank him and my two daughters, Hadassah and Hesed, who kept telling me, Mommy, you can do it. And when they saw the book, they said, yes, Mommy, we want to see your name. So they keep the book actually in the sitting room. That's where our book stays. Because they keep saying, Mom, when are you writing more? So it's a family book that we can all read. Radido, thank you. I think I sent you 1 million messages. And he says yes. I am that person that will just send and just say what I feel I need to say with respect. Even for today, I'm like, where is this? Where is this? Where is the list? How are we speaking? What is the order? I mean, all those questions. And he's not tired. He answers all of them. That's who we are. Women are organized. That's why you see this beautiful book. Because women are very organized, right? So just straight to my chapter. Allow me to just recognize Catherine. Catherine, I can't go on without recognizing you. And when I came in, I said, you're going to be my mentor and my coach by force. So I am now declaring this in front of everybody. It is good. We were told to bring your seat, isn't it? So just take your seat next to Catherine if you want to go big. So I wrote on leadership and leading designingly. I'm a spiritual woman, and happily so, because I am also a pastor. So that combination is really good for me. I have worked in many organizations and I've watched leaders and watched myself as well. You know, there's a time you watch yourself, think you're the best mirror for yourself. And I've seen sometimes we leaders, and I don't want to say they leaders, I want to say we leaders miss out in understanding our followers and our people. You see, when you get into that position where you think you know it all and your team doesn't, then you're losing it as a leader. I am a believer in hiring smarter people than myself because that makes my work very easy. I am never threatened by stronger people in my team because you do not have to recheck their work again. So I believe in leadership as a calling. I am a firm believer of leadership as a divine assignment. The day you understand that as a leader, you have been given, you are on a divine assignment, then you will do it with wisdom and you will be cautious on how you treat people. Leaders identify gifts and talents of their team members. I know it could take some time to do that, but it is your work as a leader to identify the gifts and talents of your team members and fund them. Not just see the gifts and talents, but see them and fund them and grow them. Leaders, for me, my 3 values are always integrity, number 1, excellence, and impact. So if it doesn't have those 3, I'm out. If it has no integrity, it doesn't matter how much it pays. Even if it's a job, I won't take it because it comes with a cost. When you sit in a place as a leader, there are expectations from people around you, including your own family members. Your children look at you. If you sit here as a mother or a father, you're a leader in that home. So they look at you, and any act that falls short of integrity, you're saying something to the people around you. So I say leaders should have integrity, accountability, empathy, and you know all this because you sit here as leaders. I also speak about fear versus respect. Now, many times we've confused fear for respect. Now, the fact that your followers fear you does not mean they respect you. And I think it's important for you to evaluate if the people around you fear you or they respect you. Now, fear is instilled, respect is earned. You see, I have seen leaders who feel so good when they get into a room and everybody disappears or people keep quiet. Respect and fear are very different. Look at them as a leader. I believe in building an organizational culture that aligns with business strategy, and I believe in cultures that accommodate other people. I know every organization and every home has a culture, right? You get into an organization and from the reception, look at their dress code, listen to their language, look at the leader. There are places you get into and the leader walks in and you know, you're a stranger, but you can tell. And you'll ask the receptionist, that's your boss? Because of the way they walk in. So be intentional about building cultures that are sustainable in businesses and cultures that respect people. Cultures that will go to generations, not just for yourself, not just creating a space for yourself to thrive, but a culture that creates a space for everybody else to thrive. Now, leaders exhale, and I said that, or leaders complain upwards. It's a very hard place to be as a leader because sometimes you really want to vent out, but then you shut your mouth when you look around and discover that it's your followers or your juniors that are near you. So as a leader, it's a difficult place to be. It's not very easy because sometimes you bottle up many things, but I said in my chapter, leaders must learn to complain upwards. And then this includes, I dare say, in the government. I think we have to know where we vent, because the things you vent downwards can have a very huge impact. Your word as a leader is very strong and powerful. I also like Sandra, and thank you, Sandra, for bringing the 2 beautiful ladies. I'm a believer in raising a takeover generation. I have said many times, when I walk into an organization, the first thing I do is spot the person that should take over from me. And people get worried about that statement. I come in and I want to see my successor first. Because if I don't see that, then I'll be there long. Or I'll be in that position very long. So from the start, I spot and I say, this is the leader, this is the person that I would want to take over my seat. And I begin to grow you. Because if you can raise others, then you leave a mark. It's really leaving yourself, leaving a footprint wherever you go. Integrity for a leader is a non-negotiable. And we need to look at that deeply as leaders, that if it has no integrity and you call yourself a leader, then ni the one we say jiite kamkutano, sindio? Yeah. Integrity is a non-negotiable for a leader. It's sad how children and young children can challenge leadership even on the screens. You know, a leader says something or does something on the screen, and your child says, "Namulisema huyo ni?" You know, because so as a leader, think you better be slow in what you do, in what you say, but just make sure it has integrity in it. And finally, be generous with praise and cautious with criticism. Be careful as a leader. I have heard of people that say their esteem was eroded by a teacher in school. You know the statements that teachers, and with all due respect to the teachers in the room, even in campus, there's a teacher that will just say something and you're thinking, it's taken you years to get over it. Everybody thinks you're so big, you are doing so well, but there's a voice that speaks in you. And you will do something and that voice just shows up, you know. You can't do it, you know. Who do you think you are? I mean, that voice, let's be careful with the words we speak as leaders, because they are powerful, you know. Just recently, and I learned the power of the voice, and I was sharing with my co-authors there. I held an event called Wanadada Tufunguke in partnership with Chiromo. And the psychologist took us through an exercise that was, I think for me, that's what took the day. It's not even the team building, the dancing and the rest. We were told to form 2 circles. And the circle outside would go around whispering positive affirmations to the person. You move to the next. But the ones inside were required to be silent with the eyes closed, so that it's just a voice you hear behind you as a woman. So people will come and say, you're beautiful. The next one will move, come and say, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, those affirmations, by the time we were done with that round, women broke down. I mean, it became something very different. And Chiromo, who've been my partners, have had to move around with the soft tissues. Women are wailing. Just affirmations, the power of words. So let's be careful as leaders. When we speak, make sure you are not destroying a destiny. Just make sure you're building somebody and that word will carry them through. Thank you very much, and God bless you.